Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host 𝙒𝙧𝙤𝙪 Iyer. Today we have with us Kishore Swamy, and there were a couple of misses, but finally we both linked up on the same time. And Kishore, thank you so much for setting aside this time amidst your busy schedule. Let's welcome Kishore Swamy. Namaskar. How are you, sir?
I'm good, sir. And let me, place my apologies for not having, for having missed the schedule yesterday. Day before yesterday, and you know that I'm involved in 𝗤𝙧𝙤𝙬, so
Yes.
which means that the sudden visit of the ADMK, the General Secretary to the Interim General Secretary to New Delhi, that just kept me occupied, and I had to rush. That's why I extend my apologies though.
No worries. Thank you, sir. All is forgiven. You're back here now, and that's what matters. So I'm going to set the question for you, Kishore. The question is, Zubair, in his admission to the Supreme Court, lucky guy, he got a bail even after that. He's admitted to taking up to 12 lakhs for one tweet, and sometimes he said he even takes crores. Rid us of this puzzle, Kishore. Somebody is willing to pay that kind of money for just putting out a tweet of 100 characters or 200 characters? How does that work?
See, you will have to look at the larger picture. When it comes to this social media, the advent of the social media, the advent of the digital era, as I should put it, that has changed the turf altogether. Now, till say mid or till say about 2004 or 2005, you will see that the conventional media was holding, they were ruling the roost. They were able to be they were able to position themselves as the primary influencers. But with the advent of the digital media, and especially with the commencement of Jio and so many such platforms, it has actually opened a lot of avenues for issues to be discussed, issues to be placed in front of the people, and debated, discussions held on various issues, uncensored, largely uncensored, I should say. And it has worked to the detriment, but more than the detriment, I would say that a huge section of the population has used it constructively to take forward a narrative, and that narrative has helped the nationalistic thought process, I should say, because till then you had this secular, I would call them the secular brigade. So the secular brigade was holding, they were dominating the narrative. They were pushing their, which they've all along been pushing for almost more than 6 decades. So that they were able to dominate, and that domination went for a toss. Because here you found that new influencers were emerging, and who are able to throw without any kind of constraints. They were able to throw their ideas forward and hold discussions. This has actually altered the entire, it has changed the entire dynamics. You could discern this from the fact that say about 6 months ago, Srimati Sonia Gandhi had written to the central government, where she states that the social media narrative, or the kind of, she claims, she alleges that there is a fake propaganda that is going on in the social media, which is not very healthy for democracy. Whereas the other way around, we know the kind of stories that have been peddled by the Marxian historians all along. If you take history, the kind of distortions that has been peddled. The Allahabad High Court, for that matter, came down heavily in the Ayodhya Ram Janmabhoomi case. That it even questioned, went to the extent of questioning them by asking, are these people even historians? People like Romila Thapar. They were ruling the roost. Now that went for a toss. We had people like Vikram Sampath coming forward, putting across their views. Yes, they were trolled. Yes, they were harassed. But yet that argument the space for that argument was there. Imagine, was that space for such an argument even possible before? It was not possible before. So that is the problem that these people are having now. To counter it, what they have done or what they are attempting to do is try to bring in a bunch of cyber bullies. Now, what Zubair has been doing is nothing short of bullying. Imagine, see, we all talk about Nupur Sharma. What about the op-ed editor, Nupur J. Sharma? She was dragged in unnecessarily into this Nupur's comment issue or the debate. Her security was also put into peril. So this is the kind of cyber bullying that Congress is, or I would not even say Congress. I would say the entire pseudo-secular brigade has now taken it upon them that the only way to counter the kind of narrative that is being set in the social media is to come out with bullying and to come out with the certain tactics by using influencers who have, all along been at the receiving end of the benefits, because over 6 decades, these people have eaten out of them. Now, if you take the national arena, I would say the Bollywood. Now, barring a few like Kangana Ranaut, or for that matter, Vivek Agnihotri, barring very few, you have the entire brigade taking the stand of the side of the pseudo-secular, bandwagon. Now that they are using them now, that clout is being utilized now to create a kind of a scenario, or to create a kind of an atmosphere, or to at least instill a certain amount of apprehension within the populace that is using this social media, that there is a very insecure feeling among the minorities, that they are being threatened, that they are being harassed. All this is being bandied. All this is being is being propagated using these influences. This is not something that is happening only in the national arena. I can draw parallel for that in Tamil Nadu. But let me first explain the national picture, and then we will come to the we shall come to Tamil Nadu. The national picture is that you have certain people like Rana Ayyub, or for that matter Zubair or Sabah Naqvi. These are the people, or Mahua Moitra or Priyanka Chaturvedi. These are the people who have now bandied themselves as influencers. And we also have random people coming in like Virat Kohli and his wife. These are the people who come out with the secular thought process, the so-called secular thought process that they wish to propagate. So this has been, nothing comes for free. I don't believe that these people have so much love for this nation that they believe that the secular fabric of this nation is the only thing, the so-called secular fabric of this nation is the only thing that will carry forward, and that is being damaged, and therefore these people are in worry, or therefore these people are concerned, and therefore they're coming in voicing their opinion. I don't believe that. I think it is very clearly, it is well orchestrated campaign, and that campaign has happened not for not without a fee. A fee has been fixed, and you see the end result.
So there was a time, Kishore, when movie stars would grace weddings for which they would take money. I mean, if a rich person wants to have that, look, I have arrived, this particular star is going to come and grace the married couple, and they would be given us just before they get out of their car, or just after that, they'll be given the name of the groom and the bride, and the hero will come to the stage, make a really small, sharp speech, and then say, at the end, Badai ho, whatever, and then leave. And this has been going on for several years now. So looks like now they have an easier way to collect similar amounts of money by just tweeting something which somebody pretexts it to them saying that here, this is what you need to copy paste and then send it from your handle. My question to you is, the money trail for all these things, can it not be traced by the government?
No, it can be. See, that is the biggest problem that these people are facing, because you have to understand that in today's age, two things, you can get the entire almanac of the person. We say Jadagam in Tamil. So I think I can safely call it an almanac. Your mobile phone and your bank account. If you have these two, details of these two, your entire history can be taken out. Your transactions, where you have been, what you have done, whom you have spoken, communicated with, everything can be, can be assessed and can be, studied. Now, this is where these people are getting caught, because invariably, somewhere, some kind of a digital transaction is bound to happen. Everything cannot happen by cash, because if you are going to have your money routed through Syria, if you're going to have your money routed through Pakistan, that cannot happen via cash. So somewhere they leave a digital trail. Now that is where these people are getting caught. Now, if you ask my case, I was asked to surrender my mobile. This is something that I've learned from my father. He keeps telling me that transparency is the hallmark of any transaction or any existence. So he says that if you're going to hide your mobile, if you're going to use a digital lock for it, then you have you're not transparent. So I just handed my mobile to the police and told them that, see, you can handle it as much as I can. There is no digital lock. There is no number, code word, and all that. Because I basically use the phone to communicate with people, and my communications, I don't believe that it should be hidden from anybody, be it the government, be it anybody. That kind of a history, no. We don't even know, for all that we care, the house at residential address. He was able to. Any of us aware of who this Zubair, how he landed up wherever he has landed, how he founded the alt news? Is any of that available in the public arena? It is not available. So that shows a kind of accountability that these people have. And that shows the level of transparency that these people have. So that when they go and track the account number, you will have all the transactions. Even if one transaction, even if one trail is left, which is inevitable, that will help them construct the entire modus operandi. And that is what has happened here. So why cry foul? You've come to the Supreme Court. You've said that you've taken money. See, the question is whether it is legal or otherwise, whether this money transaction can be brought under the legal scanner. Otherwise, this is all a matter of a different debate. But the moot question that we'll have to put across to them is, you taking money and you cropping videos and then spreading it with malice. Is this acceptable in civil society? Are we going to allow this to happen? This is the question that has to be put forward. And I tell you, this is not something that is happening today. This is a scenario that has been happening right from the time you have Narendra Modi government taking charge. You have this problem, increasing. For example, I will tell you, I would even go out and say that this does not pertain to one set of thought process alone or one school of thought alone. Dr. Subramanian Swamy is entitled to his views. He can he can opine on any matter that he believes concerns the nation, and he does so. Now that the minute he does that, you will find a barrage of trolls coming out, under his tweet or whatever. Why? Are we to believe, are we so gullible that we believe, or we will believe, that the troll is not orchestrated? It is clearly orchestrated. It is not. It is not a natural reaction that you see happening there. So somebody works there, ensures that this kind of abuse, this kind of troll is done. So this has become the new norm or the new normal, especially with the social media platforms. I know a lot of people who get depressed because of this, who get fed up and who leave. That is the success of this bullying. And I tell you, this transcends all parties. I would not say one party alone is, is guilty of it. All parties have this, but this culture was brought in by the pseudo-secularists. Now you tell me, can't you connect the dots? Who signed the surety for Zubair? Srinivasan Jain. What was Srinivasan Jain's father posting?
Yeah, finish that line. I have a question, follow up on that. Please finish it.
Now, what was Srinivasan Jain's father posting? He was a diplomat, and he has a lot of dubious links. So this whole pattern shows that these people work. They are in a league, and this the mission that the league has is what you call the toolkit. A few months ago, we were all discussing about the toolkit. Now, this is one angle of the toolkit, or one important salient feature of the toolkit. And I tell you that this does not relegate itself, or it does not stop itself with what is happening with the likes of Zubair. Every state of India has its own ecosystem formed on these lines, because they understand that this brings in money, this fetches them reserves, and therefore you have actors who turn out as part-time influencers like Siddharth, actor Surya, his wife Jyotika.
Hold on. Kishore,
These are people who are coming out making random tweets. You just see the modus operandi that is happening. I'm drawing parallel.
Yeah,
Surya is made to give made to tweet on a subject.
Kishore, one second. I want to go to the Tamil Nadu separate. We are going to special do that. I just want to finish your thought line on Srinivasan Jain furnishing the bail for Zubair. Now, Abhijit Iyer Mitra, he actually tweeted out a copy of the bail posted, and Twitter took him down for that. What was wrong in posting somebody's bail? What was wrong about that? He did take out all the addresses. He did take out all the numbers. He took out all the PAN numbers and all that stuff. So what was the thing that was offensive there? I don't know. Can you please explain?
And that is what I'm saying. That is how seriously this ecosystem.
Kishore,
why did Twitter use the same yardstick for bringing down Zubair's account?
Kishore, one small request. Can you log out and log back in, because
tweeting all kinds of information on Nupur Sharma. He was provoking his own community against her. It was life-threatening. Why did Twitter not take a...
Kishore, we are having data drops. Can you log out and log back in, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. Viewers, Kishore is trying to log back and log back.
Are you able to hear, sir?
I'm able to hear, but viewers, Kishore will log back in. We were having some data difficulties. Here is a request to all of you to please like this video. We want to have as many people watch as possible. We are going to cover the more damaging part, which is the capture of the film stars of Tamil Nadu by one political party. It is just massive. That's what we are going to come to now. So please, please, please like this video. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Okay. So I will not,
sir, now?
I will not interrupt.
Yeah, I can hear you, sir.
I will not interrupt you. Go ahead and have your say, sir. Go ahead.
So, why was Twitter not using the same yardstick to bring down Zubair's Twitter account? They should have ideally done that. He was actually sharing all kinds of details of Nupur Sharma, to the extent of even instigating violence against her, calling, I mean, the people openly coming out and calling for her death. Now, was that not reason enough for Zubair's account to be brought down? Why different yardstick was used for that? Now that is for Twitter to answer. And I think they will be, I mean, I am already, in my case, I'm already going to bring them to the court. And therefore, I think similar, something similar to that will be done by Nupur Sharma's counsel as well. They should bring Twitter, make them accountable. And I tell you, this is not a very easy scenario. These people get away. All that they do, suspend their account. That's not a very healthy scenario. And this is their coming about speech and expression. They summon the government.
Unfortunately, Kishore, we are still having audio difficulties from your side. We've lost him again. So what we are talking about, viewers, is how some people get paid money, and this money usually comes from abroad, and that it is possible to trace how somebody got paid, whether before the tweet or after the tweet, or half before, half after, whatever be this arrangement that they have done. So these are all possible to establish trails. But one wonders what happens to such cases. For example, there was a clear-cut case of Rana Ayyub being caught stealing money intended for for COVID relief, and she made a lot of noise. She has gone abroad. She has come back, but she has not. I mean, there is still no. There is no. It hasn't come to the court where she has been found. This is a black and white crime. She stole money intended for COVID relief, and still she, spews venom, goes about, struts about. And nobody wants to do anything about it. This is the problem I have, that law needs to be faster, especially when it is damaging the fabric of the company. Kishore, I was just telling the people about Rana Ayyub's case, where she established evidence that she stole the money that was meant for relief work, that she raised abroad. So please continue your thought, Kishore. I'm just afraid that the quality is not very good. Now it is improved a little bit, but what I can request you is, if I say this, if you see me say this, then just turn off your video. Then the audio will come through clear. Right now, it's okay.
No, that is because we are having incessant rains here. It's because of the rains here, the signals are a little, they're not consistent. Now, having said this, my primordial question to the government of the day is that why are you letting lethargic when it comes to addressing or making these people, or getting these people to be accountable. What kind of signal are you sending when you do not vehemently oppose the bail petition, the likes of Zubair? Yes, protest and to long stand with what had comes out and did not do.
Viewers, we are having difficulty. Kishore?
You have to be speaking the truth. Country, and we are making the same.
So we are having continuing difficulties. It's raining incessantly in Chennai. That's actually unseasonal rains. July, it doesn't rain in Chennai. It only starts around Diwali time or even Dussehra time. So we're going to try one last time to reconnect with him. And if it does not work, what we will do is we will record the second part of this conversation, which was about the influence of a particular political party in the politics of in the moviedom of Tamil Nadu. Kishore, can you turn off your video, please? Just turn off the video. Bottom, stop cam. Stop cam. Okay, now go ahead and talk.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is where I am, concerned that the government of the day, instead of making the people like Rana Ayyub or Sabah Naqvi accountable for the kind of hate speeches that they make under the garb of secularism,
unfortunately, we
one
still
word that is not mentioned in the Hadith or the Quran. Yeah, are you able to hear me, sir?
No, it is actually pretty bad, Kishore. Let's do this. We will stop this now. I will call you offline. We'll record it at a slightly better connection time. The second part of our conversation, which is the influence of a particular political party on Kollywood, that is the equivalent of Bollywood in Tamil Nadu. We will do that as a separate section. Let's wrap up this for now because it is just not coming through. Thank you so much, Kishore. And viewers, we apologize. we apologize, viewers. We'll be back. We will put the part 2 of this conversation as a separate video. Just hang around. We're going to do it in a day or two. Thank you very much. Namaskar.